Hey friends, this is the Miss Wolfie from our half-acre homestead with a tea break. I don't even have a cup of tea on me. But I am so busy right now. And it's not just because it's canning season. There are other things at work here. So, if you think I'm busy, I've been busy. Just wait till you hear what's going on. Now, for starters, if you remember back when, let me fix this camera. If you remember back in, I believe it was the beginning of August or the end of July, I had family come up and visit off and on. And at one point, the pressure gauge thing blew off the pump tank in our basement, emptied our well into our basement. Thank God we have an under subfloor drainage system for just such a problem if that ever arose. So the only room that actually got wet was the utility room, which has a concrete floor. Thank God. So Papa fixed that. Then there's a fly in here and it's making me nutso. Short trip, I know. Anyway, then we had to replace all the guts in the toilets, the two toilets, because when the pump was pumping the water into the basement, it made our well bone dry, and it sucked silt and sand up through everything. So we didn't know, that was going to cause any real problems, right? So we knew it, it frigged up the toilets and we had to replace the guts and didn't think anything of it. So I have this refrigerator that I had to get fast of about 7 years ago because mine broke down in the middle of canning season in a heat wave. And so I just phoned the local hardware store and said, "You got a fridge?" They said, "Yes." I said, "Send it." And that was it. And it's not a bad fridge. It's just never been my taste in fridges. But then you got to remember, folks, most of my appliances, almost all of my appliances, have been either given to me, handed down, or have been bought secondhand. So the fridge was new, but it just was an emergency purchase at the local hardware store. It has glass shelves and it has these plastic guards that clip into the door where you can put your ketchup and stuff, and they're crap. It just broke. They would just break. I mean, I've had them held together with duct tape, but every time someone would open the fridge door too hard, things would come flying out. Then the plastic holding up the glass shelves was cheap. So every time, the plastic brackets kept breaking. So my fridge is actually a piece of junk. I've had it for like 7 years, and it's a piece of junk. I mean, it's functional, but it's certainly not functional for me. Functional in the sense that it works. It freezes stuff. It keeps stuff cold. But my crisper drawers, or the shelves are breaking down into the crisper drawers. It's just a pain in the butt. So it's coming on butchering season and hunting season, and Papa has not been able to get the air conditioner in his hanging meat box in the shop to work. So we ran into somebody at Richie's Feed and Seed who told us about this little thing that you could do it's a robot thing that you could do to stop the thermostat on the air conditioner, but the air conditioner's pooched anyway. That's the only reason we were going to use it in the box, was because we figured if it worked enough to keep things cool, it would be fine, but it wasn't good enough for the house. Long story short, it didn't work. So I opened the fridge door a couple of weeks ago, and everything fell out, and I went to put a jug of water on the shelf, and the bracket collapsed, and I had it, okay? So I went and looked at the brick, and I said to Papa, I said, okay, they have a 36 months interest-free payment system on appliances right now. Why don't we go get a new fridge, and you can have the guts or the refrigeration and freezer components from this fridge to work in your box, in your hanging box. And he said, 36 months, can we do it? Now, you know me, folks. I don't put anything on a credit card because those interest rates are insane. I don't put anything on a credit card unless A, I can pay it off at the end of the month, or B, it has one of these, long-term interest-free payment things for one simple reason. I don't want to pay any interest. I want to buy it as if it was cash. So we got there, and now remember, folks, I have been burned through, probably just since this channel has started, I've been through 4 or 5 stoves that have just been secondhand or given to us. I mean, I broke the glass top on one, and the door fell off. I mean, secondhand is fine, but it's only good for a pinch for a while, right? I mean, the dishwasher, God bless my friend Pam, she gave me the dishwasher when she upscaled her kitchen. But it's the dishwasher is an older model, and it's just I've put it through its paces, and it's not doing what I need it to do. So anyway, we went to the brick, and we were looking at the refrigerator, and this poor sales guy, I walked in, and we were walking through the TVs, and he said, can I help you? And I said, no, I'm heading for appliances. He said, I can help you with appliances. So he followed us like a puppy. He was so cute. And his name was Jeremy. Hi, Jeremy, if you see this. And I said, now I'm going to tell you exactly what I want. And he said, before you tell me exactly what you want, are you thinking of purchasing today? Because any deals I make for you today may not work. If I lay this all out for you and you say, okay, I'll come back in a week, it won't work that way. So what are you looking for today? And I said, I need a refrigerator, and I want it today. And this is what I want. I want the freezer in a drawer in the bottom with wire baskets, not plastic. Because I can't, folks, I have a hard time cleaning my fridge because I can't get down to the bottom to get it. And that's where everything ends up, is in the bottom, right? If something spills, especially every time you open the door and crap flies all over the place, stuff's going to spill. So I don't need anything fancy. I don't need double doors and side-by-side this and ice makers that. I don't need any of that stuff. I want a fridge in the top, freezer in the bottom with plastic basket, not plastic, excuse me, wire-coated plastic I'm losing it, folks. With wire-coated baskets in a pull-out freezer in the bottom. That's what I want. And I want something with good quality stuff. So anyway, he took and showed me the fridge, and I said, and I want it in stainless. Okay, so he took and showed me the fridge. I said, that's it, that's what I want. And Papa looked at me and said, Bev, because the guy said, is there anything else you want? And how he looked at me and said, Bev, and I said, what? He said, the stove's falling apart. And I went, ah. And he went, no, honey, it's time. Let's get a new kitchen. Let's get all new appliances. And I went, what? And he said to the young lad, what can you do for us if we buy a fridge, stove, and a dishwasher? And the guy just went, all right, let's do business. So long and the short of it is, I got a new fridge, I got a new stove, nothing fancy, electric burners, no convection fan or anything like that. Because most stovetops today, if they're not gas, they're glass. So it was really, really hard to find one that had stainless. So the top is black enamel and the door and the backing is stainless. Very simple, but it's what I need. And the dishwasher, yoy. This is, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So those folks who saw Papa down on the floor when I was doing my potato slice video, dehydrating potato slices, he was actually installing the dishwasher. So after 26 years, I have new appliances in my kitchen. And they all match. And they're all the same brand. And Daddy said, you know what, honey? Those will last us the rest of our lives. It's time. We've earned this. We have, we've rescued enough stoves at dumps and auctions and people's backyards. Okay? It's time. Isn't he sweet? So anyway, everything's in. Except the old fridge he just pulled out, and I cleaned the floor and everything. We put the new fridge back in. And you folks, I'm not going to go and take you through all this stuff because you're going to see them as I work on my next few videos. But he left the fridge in the middle of the kitchen, the old fridge. And I took all the stuff out of it that I needed to take out of it. And I looked at it, and the rest was like half-eaten stuff. And that I said, fine. So when he came home last night, I said, okay, you got to tip the rest of that fridge into a garbage bin and get it out of my kitchen because it's in the middle of my kitchen. It's standing right in between my island and my table. I have to work around it. And it's canning season. So, anyway, we get home from purchasing the fridge, the stove, the fridge, the stove, and the dishwasher. And before we left, I had put a load of wash in. Not thinking that anything that sucks up water to put down into it, like a toilet, is going to have a problem with silt and sand. So while we were at the Brick buying new kitchen appliances, my washing machine pump broke. And it dumped one wash load of water and 2 rinse cycles of water all over my bathroom and down through the floor, like down into the bathroom below. Well, I started looking online for a secondhand washing machine because, folks, my washing machine, I was its third owner. My dryer I got from an auction. So I'm looking online for another washing machine. And Howie goes, yep, okay. And I slept on it. And the next morning, the day after I bought all new kitchen appliances, I said, Howie, and he said, what? I said, I don't want to buy another secondhand washing machine and have this happen again 2 years down the road. And he said, yeah, I know, honey. I was waiting for you to come to that conclusion. He said, we're going to go back to the Brick and we're going to get new laundry appliances. And I went, really? And he said, yeah. He said, you worked it all out. It'll be paid off in the 36 months and we'll have never paid a dime of interest. So, for the first time in our married life, 26 years, I have all the new appliances. I'm so happy. Now, my problem is, right now, as you can tell, I'm really, really, really busy. I'm canning like crazy. And Papa woke up this morning, Friday morning, and told me, we're butchering chickens tomorrow. And I went, but I just bought 35 pounds of apples and 50 pounds of carrots for canning. And he said, well, the carrots will wait. I said, but the apples won't. He said, oh, listen, I'm getting up tomorrow morning and I'm starting to butcher chickens. Okay? Now, folks, I got 9 Silver Lace Wyandotte roosters that are 6 months old. They're going to have to be pressure cooked and then canned with broth because they're tough. So, and the other ones, the guinea hens and the bigger chickens that are younger, they're all going to get frozen after they've been butchered and stuff, which is fine. Okay, fine. But I got a fridge in the middle of my kitchen. Okay? How am I supposed to get anything done? I've got apples to can tonight. My son has phoned. He blew the tire on his brand new bicycle, and he didn't just blow it. He hit a ditch or something and busted it. So he wants me to take him today to go get a new tire. I've got like apples to do before I go to bed tonight, and then re-clean my kitchen and get it ready for pressure cooking and canning chicken, and then freezing, vacuum sealing, and freezing more chicken. I got a fridge in the middle of my workspace. It's making me crazy. So I was supposed to start doing apples, and I've got a couple hours before I got to go pick up my son, so I'm going to start peeling apples and putting them in lemon water. And then I'm going to go pick up my son, and I've sent a text to Papa saying, honey, you got to get the fridge out of the middle of the kitchen if you're thinking I'm going to be butchering and canning chicken tomorrow. So I hope he gets it done before I get home from taking my son out. So busy? Honey, guys, I'm busier than a one-legged man in an ass-kicking contest, and I'm not happy about it. But, you know, it could be a lot worse, right? I mean, I could have nothing. Oh, and as for my old appliances, the dishwasher, or the washing machine, of course, went to the scrap heap. The dryer, nobody wanted, so it got put out on the side of the road with a sign on it, because it's a nice GE dryer, like we got at an auction. Says, works, take it, it's free. So it was gone the next morning, and I had a lovely lady yesterday who picked up my old stove because there was a burner missing and stuff like that, or a burner dead. And she has the same stove, only she needs parts. And she took my dishwasher. So, I mean, nothing went to waste. Nothing good got thrown out. But start looking for my new appliances in the videos in a couple of days. I'm really happy with them. But man, oh man, who would think that a pump breaking down could ruin appliances like toilets and washing machines and stuff, like a pump in the well? Anyway, this is the Mrs. Wolfie from our half-acre homestead saying I'm rambling again, but I'm really blessed at this point in my life to be gifted from my husband with all brand new appliances that I really needed, and that I don't have to pay any interest on them. I've already got it set up on my bank account so that the payment comes out every month with extra, just to make sure that it gets paid off before the 36 months. I gotta go. I'm rambling. I have apples to peel. I love you guys. Have a great weekend. And I've got some videos coming for you in the next couple of days. But this weekend, I'm going to be busy. Busy. All right? So if I don't... Oh! That's another thing. Sorry. But if I don't answer all the comments on the videos, there's something going on with YouTube, and it's been going on for a couple of weeks, that about every third comment I go to answer, it says comment failed to post, and it doesn't matter what I do, it won't post the comment. And I don't have the time to fight with it. I just move on to the next comment. And if it fails to post, then it fails to post. So if I'm not answering all the comments, folks, it's not my fault. Every third comment seems to fail to post for me. So YouTube, if you're listening, fix that crap, because I like to stay in touch with my YouTube family. Anyway, folks, I gotta go. I got a lot of work to do. Take care. God bless.